What we can talk about is that culture, any culture has some core features. Anthropologists might call them natal characteristics. Um, and those are kind of the nuggets. And then there are varying degrees of elaborations. Another way we can think about it is what are the fundamental, and I find it curious that some people always talk about essentializing as if that's totally a negative thing. Everything has some essential dimensions to it in the sense that it's the more core kinds of things. And then you have varying degrees of elaboration. So I think issues like racial identity, age, gender, education, regionality, socioeconomic status, to me, these are variables that have an impact on how the core features of a given culture are manifested in expressed behavior. So if I were to use myself as a case example, as an African American, and I look at my family, I have one sibling, and my mother, and my sibling and I, plus some others, grew up in our early years with my grandmother. So I need to include my grandmother as my primary family unit, what might be called the nuclear family. But when you look at us, we all express, we are somewhat in different layers and on different places in the continuum of African American culture because of the fact of who we are. So my brother expressed his African Americanness somewhat different than I do, and I think there's a gender factor included. My grandmother and my mother and the siblings, the children here, my brother and I, we express our culture somewhat differently because of the age difference. So you could keep going with that. So I don't think these issues nullify cultural socialization and the, if you will, the imprinting of culture. But what they do is cause people to move up and down the continuum of how you express your culture based on some of those variables, if you will.